We still have so long to wait for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie! But never fear, Top 10 Gaming is here to keep you entertained while you wait. Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host, Amanda McKnight. While we all wait to hear just who is going to even be in this film, we thought it might be fun to highlight some of the fan bases and our own top picks. Join me as we count down the top 10 FNAF Movie Fan Casts, and be sure to leave your own picks in the comments below. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10, Shia LaBeouf as Springtrap. Shia LaBeouf definitely has the fearsome spontaneity and killer instincts needed to play the role of Springtrap. Now, of course, technically Springtrap is William Afton, but I think this fan cast is all about the physicality of the animatronic, or perhaps some eerie voice work. Either way, LaBeouf could be just what we need. We know how intimidating he can be and how talented he is. Just hopefully he wouldn't go too method in preparation for this role. Number 9, Martin Freeman as Mike Schmidt. For some reason, I always imagined Mike Schmidt / Michael Afton to be younger than Freeman, like in my mind, but I also really like this casting. However, I will still also say that whenever I think of Martin Freeman, I think of two main roles: Watson from the Sherlock series and Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Those are just the most iconic roles of his that stick out in my own mind. Both of these kind of roles, though, give us an impression of a fish out of water in a way, with Watson also being much more adept and skilled just in general as a human than Arthur. So the idea of a fish out of water type character like Mike, or a character attempting to solve a mystery, which is also kind of what ends up happening in FNAF 1 as it progresses, is something that Freeman could obviously easily tap into just based on these other roles that he's played. So likely he'd have the experience to nail this role. And friends, before we move on to this next point, if you want even more FNAF content, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 8, Lewis Dawkins, aka Dawko. Obviously, when it comes to the FNAF movie, we are all hoping there will be some representation from the streamers who helped the games to become so successful, and who were also made more successful because of their love of this franchise as well. Dawko is one such streamer and YouTuber that I think fans are hoping there will be some kind of cameo role available for in the film. I personally would love to see some of our lovable cast of streamers that I think could pop up as victims in the movie. Or why not have Dawko appear as staff at the restaurant? Or perhaps he would be better as an animatronic, maybe a singing animatronic? He recently released his cover of the 8-bit big band's arrangement for Five Nights at Freddy's on YouTube, and I gotta say, he's actually got a really great voice. So I wouldn't mind him singing somewhere in the movie. Number 7, Evan Peters as Mike Schmidt. I gotta be honest, I personally love this fan cast pick. I love Evan Peters in general. He's well known for his portrayal of Quicksilver in Fox's X-Men universe, but I also love him for pretty much all the characters he's played in American Horror Story. Evan Peters is no stranger to the horror genre either, and was recently cast to play the title character and serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer in the TV miniseries Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story. Evan Peters is usually very likable in any role he plays, so I think this not only means that he would be a great candidate for the potential protagonist of Mike Schmidt, aka Michael Afton, but it could also make him a great candidate for a villain that ends up revealing their true intentions at the last minute. Number 6, Willem Dafoe as William Afton. I mean, I'm basically just down for casting Willem Dafoe in just about anything. I think he needs to be in more stuff because, well, he's just so amazingly talented. I want him in everything. Everything I've seen him in, he has done an amazing job, whether he's playing the role of an ally, hero, or villain. In this case, he'd be taking on a much more villainous role, but we know how good he can be at nailing those kinds of roles, especially considering he's still pretty much everyone's #1 pick for Green Goblin, aka Norman Osborn, should he ever return to the film-adapted comic book world of Spider-Man. Fun fact, while I definitely still feel like we could always use more Dafoe in our films, FNAF included, did you know that he's actually been in over like 100 films? In 2021 alone, he'll have appeared in 5 different movies. That is a lot of work, but hopefully he can fit FNAF into his busy schedule. I want that depth, you know? Number 5, Vin Diesel. I just think that this is such a comical cast that I had to include it. Vin Diesel as Freddy Fazbear. The reason that was listed for this fan cast is because of how swole Freddy looks. I also kind of believe that this could work though, even if we're just talking about voice work here. Vin Diesel might just be what we need to bring the fearsome presence of this character to life. I'm just saying, we've seen him play an animated character before in a film and he crushed it. He is amazing as Groot, which could mean he has what it takes to nail the main mascot character of Freddy. Number 4, Idris Elba. Why do I love this fan cast? Well, because it just makes me think of Idris Elba in Cats. Also, I love Idris Elba in anything. Idris Elba can just basically do it all. Honestly, he could play an inanimate object and I'd probably still love his performance. He's just so compelling to watch and so skilled as a performer. I actually really liked him in Cats somehow, despite the fact that that movie was an experience. Who are we thinking of Idris Elba for in regards to this project, though? Some have suggested that he would make a great Foxy, and weirdly enough, I can kinda get behind that idea. Foxy is one of the most lovable animatronics, despite the fact that he's still an antagonist and still has a very murderous nature. Elba could likely capture that lovable side of Foxy while also terrorizing us as a fearsome animatronic pirate fox. Number 3, Matthew Patrick, aka Matt Pat. I think we're all expecting Matt Pat to show up somewhere in the film, but the question is, where will he show up? I personally think he would make a great cameo as a staff member or a former patron who attempts to warn the protagonist, likely Mike, of the danger that they're in. I imagine Matt Pat's role as similar to basically what he's known for when it comes to his FNAF content on YouTube, a wild theorist who has been keeping track of all the evidence and clues to solve the mystery. He might have an idea about what's going on there and be one of the key characters other than Phone Guy to tip off Mike, instigating Mike's own investigation into the horrific history of the restaurant and its franchise. Number 2, Jack Black. Jack Black as Phone Guy? Or maybe Scott Cawthon? Jack Black being in the movie at this point seems like something we all need and we want to happen. And not only that, it also seems like something that probably will happen. Jack Black has been promoting Five Nights at Freddy's on his own socials a bunch, and he is such a talented performer and a box office success, so it seems like a win-win to cast him at this point if they haven't already. Either he's already in it, hence all the love on his socials for the franchise, or he's just a huge fan in general, in which case FNAF gets Jack Black and he gets to be in a film about a franchise that he's passionate about, which seems great. Whatever role he takes on, this is an actor I would love to see in. Number 1, Scott Cawthon, also as Phone Guy or maybe as himself. Although I honestly think my own personal fan casting here leans more towards the idea of him playing Phone Guy. He's been providing the voice for that character just for forever in the games, and he does a great job. We also know that Scott is a good voice actor, but you know, I'm not really sure how much on-camera experience he has as a game designer, so this seems more like a safer bet for making sure that he nails that role, doesn't let down the fans, and also just has fun being involved and playing a role in his project. Who are your favorite picks for the FNAF movie roles? What characters do you think we will see for sure in the film? Do you think there'll be any new additions for characters in comparison to the games? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Weirdest FNAF Animatronics Part 2. The Fandom House asks, am I the only one who wants to see a C-theme version of the animatronics? No, you are not. I love C-theme versions of everything. I would love that. The Lord TJ Balog responds, the weirdest characters? All of them. I mean, you're not wrong. They're all of FNAF is kind of gloriously weird. And I say that in a nice way. I'm not calling things weird to be mean, friends. Friends in the comments that are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad this person wasn't called weird. It's not bad to be called weird, just so you know. At least not in my mind, I don't know. I'm super weird and I love it, so yeah. David Joe Leaf ponders, to be honest, it is actually weird having Fruit Punch Clown, but not Lemonade Clown. Yeah, I was gonna put Lemonade Clown, but just Fruit Punch Clown is so much more creepy to me, so maybe on a part 3? And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I am your host, Amanda McKnight. Till next time, keep on gaming on. Pew pew!